Ali and Rashid were two brothers who had always lived a hard life. They were born in a small town where opportunities were few and hope was often thin. Their house was old and small, with cracked walls and a roof that leaked during heavy rain. Still, it was the only home they knew, and they shared it with patience and respect for each other. Ali was the elder brother. He was calm, thoughtful, and slow to speak. He believed in planning and careful steps. Rashid was younger and more expressive. He laughed easily and dreamed big even when there was no clear path ahead. Though they were different, they trusted each other deeply. That trust had been built through years of shared struggle. Their father had worked as a laborer all his life. He taught them the value of honesty and effort. He often said that a man might lose money, but if he kept his character, he could rebuild anything. When their father passed away, the brothers felt lost, but they held on to his words. They promised each other they would keep moving forward together. Life after that was not easy. Ali worked fixing broken tools, fences, and doors for people in nearby villages. Rashid carried goods at the market from sunrise to sunset. Some days they earned enough to eat properly. Other days they survived on little food and a lot of hope. Still, they saved every coin they could. They believed saving was the first step toward change. Years passed like this. People around them often mocked their dreams. Some said they would always remain poor. Others said luck never came to people like them. Ali and Rashid listened quietly and kept working. They knew change did not come overnight. One afternoon, while resting near the market, Rashid heard two men talking about a piece of land. The land was far from the town and had been ignored for many years. No one wanted it because the soil was dry and the place looked abandoned. There was also an old wooden shed on it that had been locked for decades. The owner wanted to get rid of it for almost nothing. Rashid felt his heart beat faster. He rushed home and told Ali everything. Ali listened carefully. He asked many questions. Where was the land? Why was it so cheap? What condition was it in? Rashid answered as best as he could. That night, Ali could not sleep. He thought about the land again and again. Buying land was risky, especially for people with very little money. But it was also an opportunity. Owning land meant owning something permanent. Something that could not be taken away easily. The next day, the brothers visited the land together. It was quiet and lonely. Tall weeds covered most of the ground. The soil looked hard and dry. The air felt still, as if time had stopped there. Birds flew overhead, but no human voices could be heard. Then they saw the shed. It stood near the far end of the land. It was small but strongly built. The wood was dark from age, and the roof leaned slightly. The door was shut tightly with a heavy iron lock. Rust covered the hinges, and the handle looked like it had not been touched in years. Rashid felt excited. He imagined many possibilities. A storage place. A small workshop. Maybe even something valuable hidden inside. Ali felt more cautious. He believed old places carried history, and history needed respect. They walked around the land slowly. Ali examined the ground, touching the soil, thinking about what could grow there. Rashid walked ahead, already dreaming of a future where they no longer had to struggle daily. When they returned to the shed, Rashid reached for the lock. Ali stopped him gently. He wanted to think before acting. They sat near the shed and talked quietly. They discussed money, risks, and their future. They knew this decision could change everything. In the end, they decided to buy the land. The price was so low that even the seller seemed surprised they agreed so quickly. Within days, the papers were signed. Ali and Rashid were now landowners. For the first time in their lives, something belonged to them. On their first official morning as owners, they arrived early. The sun was just rising, spreading soft light across the land. The air was cool, and the place felt peaceful. Ali stood still, breathing deeply. Rashid smiled wide, feeling proud. They cleaned a small area and rested. Their eyes kept returning to the shed. It stood silently, like it was watching them. Rashid could not hold his curiosity. He walked closer and placed his hand on the door. The wood felt rough and cold. The lock felt heavy. There were deep scratches near it, marks that showed someone had tried to open it long ago. Ali joined him. He noticed the same marks. He felt a strange feeling in his chest. Not fear, but a sense that something important was hidden there. Something that had waited a long time. They looked at each other without speaking. Both understood that opening the shed would not be a simple act. It would be a moment that could change their lives. Ali decided they should wait. He believed patience would protect them. They agreed to return the next day with proper tools and a clear mind. As they walked away, the shed remained silent behind them. The wind moved gently, and the land felt alive in a quiet way. That night, neither brother slept well. Their minds were filled with thoughts and questions. What was inside the shed? Why had it been locked for so long? And most of all, what would happen once they opened it? The land was theirs now, and whatever secrets the shed held were closer than ever. Morning came slowly, and the sky was pale when Ali and Rashid returned to their land. Both brothers carried simple tools they had borrowed from neighbors. Ali held a small hammer and a metal bar. Rashid carried an old oil can and a thick cloth. They did not talk much on the way. Each was lost in his own thoughts. The shed stood exactly as before. Quiet. Still. Waiting. Ali walked around it carefully. He touched the wooden walls and checked the roof. The wood was old but strong. The shed had been built with care long ago. Rashid knelt near the door and wiped away dust from the lock. Rust covered it fully. It had not been opened for many years. Ali told Rashid to step back. He placed the metal bar carefully near the lock. He did not rush. He believed slow actions avoided regret. Rashid watched closely, holding his breath. With one firm push, the lock cracked. A sharp sound echoed across the empty land. The lock fell to the ground and broke into two pieces. Both brothers froze for a moment. Nothing happened. No sound came from inside. Rashid smiled nervously. Ali reached for the door and pulled it open slowly. The door creaked as it moved. Dust rose into the air, and sunlight entered the shed for the first time in many years. The smell of old wood and earth filled their noses. Inside, the shed was larger than it looked from outside. Wooden shelves lined the walls. Old tools lay scattered across the floor. Rusty nails. Broken boxes. Empty sacks. It looked like a forgotten place. Rashid felt a little disappointed at first. He had expected something exciting right away. Ali stayed calm. He believed first looks often lied. They stepped inside carefully. Their feet touched thick layers of dust. Ali examined the shelves. Rashid opened boxes one by one. Most were empty. Some held scraps of metal or worn cloth. Then Rashid noticed something strange at the back of the shed. One corner looked different. The floorboards there were darker and cleaner, as if they had been touched more recently than the rest. He called Ali over. Ali knelt and tapped the floor with his knuckles. The sound was hollow. Ali looked serious. He told Rashid to move the nearby boxes away. Together, they cleared the area. Beneath the dust, they saw a wooden panel with iron rings attached. Ali felt his heart beat faster. He took a deep breath and lifted the panel. Under it was a small hidden space. Inside lay several old cloth bags, carefully tied and stacked. The brothers stared in silence. Rashid reached out but stopped himself. Ali nodded slowly. Rashid opened one bag. Inside were metal coins. Heavy, old, covered in dirt but clearly valuable. Rashid opened another bag. More coins. Then another. All the same. Ali sat back on the floor. His hands shook slightly. He was not thinking of wealth yet. He was thinking of responsibility, of history, of how something like this could exist unnoticed for so long. Rashid laughed softly, then stopped himself. He realized this was serious. They counted the bags carefully. There were many. Enough to change their lives completely. Ali told Rashid they should not celebrate yet. They needed to understand what they had found. Where it came from. Whether it belonged to someone else. They closed the hidden space and sat outside the shed. The sun was higher now. Birds sang as if nothing had changed. Ali explained his worries. If the coins belonged to someone, taking them could bring trouble. Rashid listened carefully. His excitement faded into respect for his brother's wisdom. They agreed to do things properly. Ali suggested they take only one small bag to town and ask questions quietly. Rashid agreed. That afternoon, Ali visited an old shop owner who dealt with antiques. He showed one coin. The man examined it closely. His eyes widened. He said the coin was very old and valuable. He asked where Ali found it. Ali did not answer directly. He only said it came from family land. The man nodded slowly and warned him. Such items could be part of a forgotten collection or savings from long ago. Sometimes people hid wealth during hard times and never returned for it. Ali thanked him and left. When Ali returned, he told Rashid everything. They sat in silence again. The land suddenly felt heavier. The shed no longer felt empty. It felt important. That night, the brothers did not sleep in their old house. They stayed near the land. They feared leaving it unguarded. Ali kept watch while Rashid rested. The stars shone above them. Ali thought about their past struggles. About hunger. About laughter shared during hard days. He realized that wealth could bring comfort, but also danger if handled poorly. Rashid dreamed of a different future. A small home. Enough food. Dignity. When morning came, they made another promise. They would protect what they had found. They would not rush. And they would never let wealth change who they were. The shed stood quietly behind them. It had given up its secret. But the true test had only begun. The days that followed were full of careful thinking and quiet movement. Ali and Rashid knew their lives had entered a new stage, but they refused to let excitement guide their actions. They stayed close to the land and the shed, taking turns watching over it. They spoke less than before, not because of fear, but because every word now felt heavier. Ali believed knowledge was the key to safety. He spent time thinking about the history of the area. He asked older people in nearby villages simple questions about the land. He did not mention coins or the shed. He only asked about who lived there long ago and why the land was abandoned. Slowly, pieces of the past came together. Many years earlier, the land had belonged to a trader who was known for traveling often. During a time of unrest, people feared losing what they owned. Some hid their savings. Some never returned. The trader had disappeared 1 year and was never seen again. Ali shared this information with Rashid. They both felt a quiet sadness. The coins were not just wealth. They were someone's hope, hidden during a time of fear. Rashid suggested they should give the coins to the authorities. Ali agreed that honesty mattered, but he also feared the coins might disappear into the wrong hands. They decided to seek advice from someone they trusted deeply. They visited an elderly teacher named Karim who had taught Ali years ago. Karim was respected for his wisdom and fairness. Ali told him the truth carefully, explaining how the coins were found and what they feared. Karim listened without interrupting. He studied their faces and saw sincerity. When Ali finished, Karim spoke calmly. He said that sometimes fate placed responsibility in the hands of those who had suffered the most. He advised them to document everything and report the discovery properly. That way, no one could accuse them of wrongdoing later. Ali felt relief hearing this. Rashid nodded, trusting Karim's words. They followed his advice. They took clear notes. They photographed the shed and the hidden space. They counted the bags again, slowly and carefully. They sealed them back in place. Nothing was removed except the one coin Ollie had already shown. The process took many days. During this time, people in nearby villages began to notice the brothers spending more time on the land. Some grew curious. Some whispered. Rashid felt uncomfortable, but Ollie reminded him that truth needed patience. Eventually, they reported the discovery to local officials. The officials were surprised but cautious. They inspected the shed and confirmed the hidden space. The coins were examined by experts. The story of the traitor came up again. Weeks passed. Ollie and Rashid returned to their daily work while waiting for a decision. The waiting was harder than the discovery itself. Their minds were full of questions. Would the coins be taken away? Would they receive nothing? Would trouble follow them? During this time, something unexpected happened. People who once ignored the brothers began to treat them differently. Not because of wealth, but because of their honesty. Word spread that they had reported a major discovery instead of hiding it. Ollie noticed small changes. Neighbors greeted them with respect. Shop owners spoke kindly. Rashid felt proud, not because of what they might gain, but because they had done what felt right. One afternoon, a letter arrived. It stated that after careful investigation, no direct heirs of the traitor could be found. According to the law, the landowner who discovered the items was entitled to a significant portion of the find. Ollie read the letter slowly. His hands trembled. Rashid read it again to be sure. It was real. They were allowed to keep part of the coins. The news brought relief and fear at the same time. Ollie reminded Rashid that wealth should be handled with discipline. They agreed to keep their lives simple. They would not show off. They would not change overnight. They began by fixing the shed properly. The roof was repaired. The walls were strengthened. The hidden space was sealed again for safety. The land started to feel like a place of growth, not mystery. Ollie decided they should invest in small, steady steps. He bought better tools for his repair work. Rashid invested in a small cart for the market, allowing him to carry more goods and earn more honestly. They also helped others quietly. A neighbor who struggled to pay medical bills received help without knowing the source. A school received supplies. A family in need received food. Rashid felt joy in giving. Ollie felt peace. At night, they often sat near the shed and talked about the future. They spoke about building a simple home, about planting crops, about creating a place where hardship did not control every decision. The shed no longer felt like a secret keeper. It felt like a reminder that patience, honesty, and unity could change a life. Ollie often looked at Rashid and smiled. Rashid smiled back. They had found more than coins. They had found proof that their long struggle had meaning. And still, their journey was not finished. Life slowly began to change for Ollie and Rashid, but not in a loud or sudden way. The change came like a steady river, calm but powerful. Every morning, they woke up early and went to their land. The place that once felt empty now felt alive with purpose. Ollie focused on long-term plans. He believed money should create stability, not noise. He spent days studying the soil and learning what crops could grow there with care and effort. He spoke with farmers and listened more than he talked. Rashid helped with the physical work. He cleared weeds, leveled ground, and repaired broken fences with energy and pride. The shed became their center of work. What was once a place of mystery now became a place of planning. They stored tools neatly. They marked areas for future use. The hidden space was sealed tightly and protected, not as a secret anymore, but as part of their responsibility. People from nearby villages began visiting more often. Some came out of curiosity. Some came looking for work. Ollie and Rashid treated everyone with respect. They paid fair wages and offered water and food to those who helped. Slowly, the land became known as a place of honesty. Rashid noticed that people noticed them differently now. Not with envy, but with trust. He felt proud of this more than anything else. One afternoon, an older farmer named Salim visited. He had watched the brothers from a distance for weeks. He told them that the land had once been fertile but had suffered from neglect. With patience, it could return to life. Ali listened closely. Salim offered advice without asking for anything. Rashid felt grateful. They followed his guidance carefully. They prepared the soil step by step. They planted simple crops that did not require much water. Every seed felt like a promise. Weeks passed. Small green shoots appeared. Rashid laughed like a child when he saw them. Ali smiled quietly. Growth, even small growth, meant progress. The brothers also began planning a simple house. Nothing large. Just strong walls, a solid roof, and space to breathe. Ali insisted they build slowly and carefully. Rashid agreed. They wanted something that would last. During this time, Ali faced a personal challenge. People began coming to him for advice, asking how to invest money or make decisions. Ali felt pressure. He did not see himself as wise. He was simply careful. One evening, he spoke to Rashid about this. Rashid reminded him that wisdom often came from experience, not education. Ali had lived hardship and chosen honesty. That was enough. Rashid faced his own challenge. He struggled with temptation. Sometimes he imagined a faster life, easier comfort, and less effort. But every time he felt that pull, he remembered the years of hunger and the value of dignity. He chose discipline. Together, they kept each other balanced. One day, officials returned to inspect the land and the progress. They were surprised by the changes. The land looked cleaner. The shed looked strong. The crops showed promise. The officials praised the brothers for using their opportunity wisely. That praise meant more to Ali than money. It confirmed that their choices were correct. As months passed, their income became steady. Not excessive, but reliable. Ali no longer worried daily about survival. Rashid no longer feared the future. They still worked hard, but their work now had direction. They continued helping others quietly. A young man was taught repair skills by Ali. A struggling vendor received a cart similar to Rashid's. The brothers never spoke about these actions. They believed good acts did not need attention. The land slowly transformed into a small community space. People felt welcome there. Children played near the fields. Elders rested in the shade. The shed stood strong, watching over everything like a silent guardian. At night, Ali often walked alone across the land. He thought about how close they had come to giving up in the past. How easy it would have been to sell the land quickly or misuse the coins. He felt thankful for restraint. Rashid often joined him. They talked about their father and his lessons. They realized that the true inheritance he left them was not money, but character. One evening, as the sun set, Rashid asked Ali if he ever feared losing everything again. Ali answered honestly. He said fear never disappeared, but discipline made it manageable. They stood quietly, watching the sky change colors. The land was calm. The shed was silent. The future felt steady. They knew challenges would still come. Life never became perfect. But they were no longer helpless. They had built something meaningful. The land that was once bought for pennies had given them purpose. The shed that once held secrets had given them direction. And the brothers who once struggled to survive had learned how to live with strength and humility. Yet one final chapter still waited ahead. The final change in Ali and Rashid's lives did not come from money or land. It came from understanding what their journey truly meant. By the time a full year had passed, the land looked completely different. Crops grew in neat rows. The soil was softer and darker. The air felt full of effort and reward. The small house they planned was now standing. It was simple but strong. Built with care, not pride. Inside, there was space to rest, eat, and plan. Nothing was wasted. Everything had purpose. Ali continued his repair work, but now he did it on the land. People brought broken tools from far villages. Rashid managed the crops and the small market work that followed. Together, they created balance. No one was the leader. No one was the follower. They were partners. One morning, a visitor arrived unexpectedly. He was an older man, walking slowly, leaning on a wooden stick. His clothes were clean but worn. He looked around the land carefully, his eyes full of emotion. Ali greeted him with respect. Rashid offered him water and a place to sit. The man thanked them and explained why he had come. He said he was a distant relative of the trader who once owned the land long ago. He had spent years searching for pieces of his family history. Ali listened closely. He felt no fear. Only calm honesty. The man spoke about stories passed down through his family. About land that was lost. About savings hidden during dangerous times. About regret and silence. Ali told him everything. He did not hide a single detail. He explained how the land was bought. How the shed was opened. How the discovery was reported. How the law decided the outcome. The man listened quietly. When Ali finished, the man closed his eyes for a moment. Then he smiled gently. He said he was not there to claim anything. He said fate had already decided where the past belonged. He thanked the brothers for honoring history instead of abusing it. Before leaving, the man said something that stayed with Ali and Rashid forever. He said wealth that comes with honesty stays peaceful. Wealth that comes with greed never rests. When the man left, Ali and Rashid felt a deep sense of closure. The last shadow of doubt was gone. As time passed, their story spread beyond nearby villages. Not as a tale of hidden coins, but as a story of character. People spoke about two brothers who chose patience over speed, honesty over secrecy, purpose over pride. Ali was once asked to sell the land for a very high price. He refused without hesitation. Rashid supported him fully. They knew what the land meant. It was not just property. It was proof of their growth. Instead, they expanded slowly. They added more crops. They trained young people in basic skills. They created opportunities instead of chasing luxury. One evening, as the sun lowered, Ali and Rashid stood near the shed. The shed was repaired, clean, and strong. It no longer felt like a mystery. It felt like a memory. Rashid asked Ali if he ever wished they had never opened it. Ali smiled softly and shook his head. He said the shed did not change their lives. Their choices did. They remembered the days of hunger, the nights of worry, the laughter they shared even when they had nothing. Those memories kept them grounded. Ali realized that the greatest reward was not security, but confidence. Confidence that no matter what happened next, they could face it together. Rashid realized that hope was strongest when built on effort, not luck. The land bought for pennies had given them far more than money. It gave them dignity, direction, and a story worth living. As night fell, the brothers returned to their home. The land rested quietly behind them. The shed stood firm under the stars. Everything had changed, not because of what they found, but because of who they chose to be.